Welcome to Feisty Chess. Let's play chess. Playing Mariam 935731 on Lee Chess. 10-minute, 5-second increment game. We got e4, e5. I'm going to play knight f3 and probably go for a Scotch. Okay, and here is the Scotch. I will be recapturing instead of playing the gambit with bishop c4. Okay, Potter variation. Here's to you, Clark. And knight c3, and black has a wide choice here. My plan is generally going to be bring this bishop to e3 and queen out of the way and castle. So, right, with knight to f6, I have a choice with. I could actually go for bishop g5. I think I'm going to do that. Okay, puts the question to the bishop right away. e4 is covered enough for now, so I'm going to keep that pin. He doesn't have a good way of breaking it other than g5, so that forces a pretty big concession. But if my opponent doesn't castle on the king side, it's not so much of a weakness. Could easily castle on the queen side now, as I'm doing. I got knight to d5 coming here. Otherwise, so there he goes. Probably d6 here. In which case I'll probably go with bishop to d3. Okay. Let's waste not our time. That does give him d4. He could stick his knight on d4. Okay with that. Clean my glasses to see this board better. Staying ahead on time. Doesn't happen all that often. Be happy to see him castle kingside here. I don't think they're going to do that. Probably bishop e6. The old Scotch hedgehog. You get all 4 minor pieces on the 3rd rank. If he goes bishop to g4, that just invites me to play f3, which is a move I don't mind playing. Bishop d7 seems uninspiring. He also has queen e7. I think it doesn't matter too much which option he chooses now. Queen e7, I do have knight to d5. No, I don't. Okay, he goes with bishop e6. Does the queen belong on d2 or e2? I think e2. Yeah, I think e2. I like how it keeps the knight out of these squares and the bishop. Black can play knight to d4 here. We just have a trade. And then after bishop takes, castling queenside looks a little dubious, but okay. Black is preparing to castle queenside. I don't really want to castle into the pawn storm on the king side either. So let's go kingside. Okay. Time for plans. I like the plan of f3 and then planning on putting this bishop on f2 and trading that off. I have more control over d5. I could play over d5. Yeah, I could play knight to d5. Yeah. Let's do this. Got a good share of the center here. I like white a little bit over black. Black is ready to play d5 though. Okay. Well, if he wants to grab that bishop, he's going to get one of the bishops, it looks like. Now I have knight d5. That keeps him out of f4. Okay, so we don't have to give up on the bishop pair. Might just keep that knight on d5 if he does take on g3. So knight d5 looks good here. If he takes with the bishop takes d5, he takes d5. We've got some initiative there. I like how that looks. Usually you want to get king to b1 in these situations to avoid checks and to guard that a2 pawn in castle and queenside situations. But here, especially if we trade off dark square bishops, and with these pawns on these light squares, on these dark squares over here, it's not much of a danger that that'll happen. Although now that I say that, it seems like famous last words, and I'll get killed with some kind of in-between move check on that diagonal if I don't play king b1. Anyway, it doesn't seem very urgent to do so now. Okay, he did take. I was asleep at the switch. That's a capture I could have pre-moved, actually. If he tries to counterattack my queen here, I'll just win a piece. He needs to move this knight, because if he lets me take it, I will also be hitting his queen, and when I take the queen, that's with check. That all just adds up to tactical benefits. Okay, that d5 pawn is a real wedge, a real sore for black here. I've just about got his queen trapped. If I go bishop b5, might be the best move anyway, but then he's going to play queen f5. And then he's hitting that pawn twice. He is hitting it now. I should do something about that. I think that just helps his queen improve. Let's see, bishop b5, queen f5, queen e4. Take. I don't like the look of my e-pawn there. Maybe just bishop to c4. Oh, I could play c4 after bishop. Bishop b5. Okay, let's just go bishop c4. Seems pretty sensible. He might just play his queen to f5 anyway, and then I still don't have time for bishop to f2. Not really, because he's got knight f4 there. I think that bishop should watch that. Okay, now I like the look of bishop b5. Just checking the tactics may work out. Yeah, this looks very good. Bishop b5. And if he doesn't do anything about that threat, I'm hitting his queen with check. I'm going for this. The threat is often stronger than the execution, right? If I'd played bishop b5 move prior, he would have been forced to move his queen probably to f5. And then at that point, how to explain this? Like the energy, okay, we're just opening things up here. That weakens d6. This unleashes my rook. This has to be good. Looking at bishop takes here. Queen c4 looks good. Looks very strong. Yeah, that's just, everything's appealing about that move. Knight's pinned. I'm hitting f7. I'm pinning the knight. Yeah, pinning the knight. I'm hitting f7. Extra pressure on c6. I still got this threat. Probably black's going to take here, and then my rook is eyeballing that h6 pawn. I can put more pressure on that knight as well. Okay, pretty even on time. Taking on a6 doesn't seem quite as good. If he takes with the queen, I can grab f7. So let's do this. And I can grab a6 if he takes with the pawn. So I'm grabbing a pawn here. Now watch out, I've got a check. There's checks that are possible on e3 with that bishop. So I do have to watch out for that. Actually, knight d4 might be a good follow-up here. I want to make sure that he can't get a rook to my second rank. I have to watch out for that. Probably queen takes is his, queen takes is his best choice here. And he goes with pawn takes. Okay. Oh, this. Yeah, winning a pawn. Got an attack going. Okay, he wants to play rook a8. Let's go ahead and take the chance now to play king to b1, huh? Yeah. Get off those dark squares. Guard a2. When he does play rook a8, he won't get his rook to e2. Okay. Yeah, I like the looks of knight to a5 here. Does that look good? Maybe just queen d3 is good. Knight to a5, that kind of forces rook to b8, which gets him in a defensive posture, but I don't see where it goes from there. Rook to b8, then. Okay, knight a5, rook b8. And then rook h to e1. And maybe ideas of knight c4. Okay, I'm going to go for this. It's really the aggressive option here. The idea is, of course, we're going to check on b7, and if he takes with the bishop, then I grab that bishop with check. Okay, so we're pulling out here. I'm okay with this. My knight is happy. I'm hitting both of these. He's got to play bishop c5. This gives us a little left. Also threatens b4. I was thinking about bringing my king's rook over to e1. Okay, now. Probably should just play this here. Actually, he's not threatening anything. Let's do this. My knight guards that pawn. Oh, that was too. He's got d5 now. d5. Okay, we're losing our pawn back. Should have just played king a2. I tried to play for a little trap, and I was the one who ended up getting trapped. All right, let's just go back over here. Keep the pressure on that pawn. Ooh. Ooh, okay, I've got to bring my knight. Ooh, this is... Yeah, he's got bishop c3, and I got to bring my knight back to d3 in that case. And he's got mate threats I got to deal with, say, knight to b2. Yeah. Okay, we're able to make moves quickly at least. Comes rook a8, presumably. And my knight is super passive. I've lost the initiative, lost that extra pawn I had. I don't have access to e1 anymore. Okay, this is forced. You might just be able to double up on that a file, right? What's to be done about that? I guess knight a4. If he goes rook to a3, that's maybe it's a tricky move to find, but that's probably his best move right now. Then my knight can't move at all. I'm planning on knight to a4 to try to block up that file. If he goes rook a3, that prevents all those ideas. Oh, he found it. Okay. But I have a backup idea. So I'm going to play knight a4 anyway, only after a certain other idea. Probably d4 here. And then I take the bishop. That can't be good. But I do have a time advantage. Yeah, okay. How do I stop this? There's no stopping the mate. I thought the threat to that bishop was forcing. It's not at all forcing. Wow. Oh, tough loss. Is there anything? Well done. Well done. Oh man, that yeah. Thrown in the towel. Well, let's just grab that bishop anyway, huh? Here comes the mate. Sometimes you just gotta let them finish, alright? So, to the analysis board, let's make this quick and painless. Doing really well. I think I played this according to what I've learned from Potter's line here. I'm not sure about bishop d3. It looks kind of passive. Maybe c4 is better. Gives him a fork trick by knight takes e4 though. d3 holds up the center. Okay, I'm happy with all this. Computer likes it well enough. Didn't like castling. It says knight d5 right here. Knight d5. Oh, sure. He can't take it. Because my queen and his king are still lined up. Alright, I should have been aware of that. How much? Well, that was... Oof. That was a winning advantage, apparently. Let's look at that. Knight d5. Can't take with the knight. Because the bishop would be pinned and won. You can take with the bishop. It says queen e7 is... No, it says... Yeah, bishop takes. And now this is a check. Why can I not see the analysis here? It's been a while since I've used Lichess interface, I guess. What's the suggested move? Probably knight here. Then you're not going to be able to castle. No, you should be able to castle. What's the follow-up? Okay, I had to turn the engine on, actually. Thought it was on. 97. And then castle long. And you can't just take? Bishop b5. c6, rook takes d5. Both of these guys are pinned. This is no good. Rook takes d6. Ooh. Queen c8. Queen e5. Hitting that rook. And castling is best, just giving up the knight. Because this leads to rook e1. Bishop comes back to d8. Then what? Just everybody gets a piece of this knight. Everybody's coming. And there's no pretend. There's no. Well, king f8. Queen f6. Mate in 12, huh? Can't we just move the knight now? Rook takes d8. Queen takes d8. Knight e6. King e8. Knight takes d8. Oh, that's a check. Okay, that's really ugly. Or pretty, depending on which side you're on. Okay, so I missed that opportunity. My queen was lined up with his king, get knight d5 in there. You know, I play enough Mora Gambit. That's such a thematic move there. I should be able to do that. Actually, it looks somewhat similar to that. So I castled instead. Knight here. Now knight d5 does not come with quite as much sting. Bishop here. It doesn't like that. I want a bishop b5 immediately. But now, bishop b5 is quite effective. Okay. Now knight a5. Really? I suppose. Okay. King takes a6 works as well. Then we went with knight a5. We build out g4, just making that pawn permanently weak. That would have been a good idea. I gave some left. That's just good. And this is a huge mistake. Not just playing king h2 or king c1 or a2. I went here, and now it's a draw. e5. Rook e5. Wow, that's a tough one to find. Does that even really work? Rook e5 to pin this, and notice how the king can't come here because of the knight. If he takes my knight, I take his bishop. So what about just rook here? b4. Because my knight actually guards the rook. Okay, knights and rooks are very happy partners here. Bishop takes b4. Ooh. A takes b4. wrong with this? Just king c1, huh? Okay. Oh. Oh, now, huh. These pieces are both hanging, but they're not. Neither one's going to fall because this rook is hanging. So if this knight gets taken, I just take his rook. Okay. I went for knight e5 instead. Still, it's looking like a draw. Knight d3 here. I should have played knight d3 here. Okay, rook e3 is necessary here. Now I'm completely lost. This mating pattern is too much, and Black found all the right moves. Rook a3. Way to go. Congratulations, Black, on fighting rook a3. Yeah. Surprising mate. I feel like those are the kind of mate patterns I get my opponents caught in. I haven't gotten caught in them too much myself, but it's going to happen from time to time. Okay. Well played game. Got a little cocky. Tried to trap my opponent. My trap was here. I thought, oh, he's not actually threatening this like you might think. He might be missing this backwards knight move, so maybe he'll just take here thinking this pawn is pinned. So I'll just play another move, you know, and he can kick the knight away. He can remove that defender, obviously, and I've got not enough counterplay here. And I guess the bigger mistakes, just as big, was not playing knight d3 right here. Recognizing I need to keep this pawn here to avoid those nasty mating threats. Okay. So, game, Mariam, and thanks for watching, everyone else. Stay feisty, everyone.